We'll find out shortly. He's getting rewarded by Coach Woods with his first start of the season. Sealy is. On the visiting side, Wayne Brent patrols the sidelines. Great jacket, Coach. 8th season running the Tigers program. 101 and 136 overall is his record, trying to get them back to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 06-07. Sean Woods on the other side, former Kentucky great player. And a third job as a head coach in his third season here at Southern, 28 and 47. Last time this team was in the tourney was 2016. Sean Woods trying to lead him back there. We're ready for tip-off. Your referees, Rod Dixon, Patrick Evans, Byron Jarrett. And here we go from Baton Rouge. Southern wins a tip, attacking quickly. Into some traffic, Terrell Williams. Redshirt freshman goes out of bounds. They'll maintain possession for the Jags.
First sequence gives you an idea down how this game is going to be played at a feverish pace. These two teams in attack mode want to play in a controlled chaos setup, understanding that they're at their best, moving fast, playing quick, but not in a hurry.
Jaden Sadler keys things. He's the head of the snake, as Sean Woods told us today. Second in the SWAC in assists, just over 6 a game in league play. Sadler traveled. They started that last game against Grambling, Jordan. 19-0 deficit. They dug themselves at home against Grambling State. Turnovers were a big problem early in that game.
Southern, no question, trying to get off into a fast start in this one. The undoing was that early run. Fought admirably, but you can't get down 19. In this one on your home floor, you look to be a little bit more polished. Unfortunate turnover out of the gate.
Quick trigger by Tristan Jarrett. Late closeout there. Gives him an opportunity. And Isaiah Williams gets the foul inside, the transfer from IUPUI, grad student. Big addition. Coach Weber told us Coach Brent told us how important he was to this group, and we can guard 1 through 5 and make an impact, get drawn a foul early on. Turn over the other way. Ooh! McKinnon almost hit his head on the rim.
I'll tell you, as much as we talk about the rebounding ability of McKinnon, he's also a shot blocker, too, and he ain't going to give up on any play. Whether it's a loose ball, a breakaway layup, two teams sloppy starts and taking care of the basketball here. But I love the effort from the big fella. Literally coming out of nowhere.
I mean, let's be real. I don't know anything about almost hitting my head on the backboard. Do you, big fella? I mean, all-time leading shot blocker.
I know something about blocking shots. I don't know about doing it with elevation. Mine was more timing, but a big part of it, though, is the effort. It had nothing to do with really the play here, but that gives you an idea and a peek in to how McInnes attacks the game.
Well, Williams was the victor there. He did get fouled and makes 1 of 2 at the line. And that allows them to get to their press. They weren't able to do this early on in that last game against Grambling State because you got to make shots to get in the press, and they couldn't do that.
Yeah, this is a big part of what they want to do. They want to run and jump you, try to keep the ball out of Jarrett's hands as much as possible. Let somebody else decide this one.
And there's Sean Woods, as we mentioned, big-time player at Kentucky, played in the early 90s. One of the most famous games in the history of college basketball. He scored 21 in the game where Kentucky fell to Duke through the shot by Christian Laettner in the Elite Eight of the NCAA tournament in 1992.
Yeah, there's Coach Woods. That's the proper identification for a guy that means a lot. What a coup to get him down there and be a part of this program, get them on track. I mean, a guy knows more about college basketball than so many, and he's getting the system in there in place. It's going to be a winning one.
Jarrett tries to flip it underneath. That's a turnover. Third of the game already for the Tigers. And Williams attacking the 10. He runs into McInnes again.
And what you see from Southern when they generate these turnovers is it's attacking downhill. Some teams you may see guys filling lanes, trying to be catch and shoot guys beyond the three-point line. This is a Southern team. When they get that thing with a full head of steam, they are in attack mode. You got to get back defensively and protect the rim. Play not to foul there. Play for a charge.
McInnes hit the rim. I mean, that's sometimes you can almost get called for a goaltender if the ball got up over there. Yeah, but it didn't. He actually saw him like licking his finger. You can hurt your hand on the rim too. That I do know.
And again, get a bucket here, set that defense. Try and generate more turnovers. Get some things going here. Allow your offense to be at its best by playing fast, getting some open floor, easy offense.
Delord Johnson knocked down that last jumper. Step back. Isaiah Williams, not going to happen, but there's McInnes. We're a little less than 3 minutes in. We just keep saying his name, but travels. 4th turnover early for Jackson State. And that's been a problem for them on the year, but not so much in conference play, JC. They've tightened that up in SWAC play.
Yeah, and they're playing too fast. You're trying to change the world with every play. McInnes grabs the rebound there. Bounce that play off too, collect yourself, and put the pressure on the official to blow the whistle. When you're out of control, reckless like that, it's going to lead to a mistake rather than an opportunity to generate two.
And you see him still messing with his hand after he hit it off the rim. We'll follow that and see if that's a problem. Terrell Williams being ultra aggressive, but my man is having trouble getting it up on the rim. This time, Darius Hicks says goodbye.
Yeah. Great defense, making him hit a body there, keeping him in front.
Hicks, the former NC State player for 2 years, transferred to Eastern Kentucky, now grad transferred here to Jackson State. J.D. Sadler shot no good. Shot clock didn't reset. Got to get it up. And he didn't get it off in time.
If I'm Southern, I'm going right back. Set the defense in the full court pressure. Continue to apply. It's not off a make, but it is a dead ball, which gives them another opportunity to set that thing.
Yep. Hicks skips it over to Tristan Jarrett, again the leading scorer in SWAC play, getting 24 a game. That was just too easy off the reversal out of the trap situation. Jarrett looking up court. And easy layup there for Jonas James, coming off a 19-point game last time out.
Jonas James has been good ever since the second half of that Alabama State game. Gained some momentum and has really become a confident scorer for this team. In the last 2 sequences you've seen Tristan Jarrett with the basketball making things happen. A dribble drive, then delivering the leak out. You got to let Jarrett decide this one on the Tigers side.
Sadler, shot clock going down again. Is able to get to the 10 and finish with the left.
Good pace, good poise, opportunistic. Waited to see a time to attack rather than forcing the issue. Took what the defense gave him there, cerebral attack at the rim.
James crossed the timeline. They bring the trap again. Jarrett's wide open, NBA 3. Rims out. Hayden McClellan, his shot no good. Advanced pass, another opportunity to run. Seeley ripped by McClellan. Here we go, up the other way. Jarrett, and I don't need to say it. I think you know it's an and one.
Jackson State finding a little bit of momentum here. The 3 scoring sequence is no surprise. Conference Player of the Year candidate Tristan Jarrett making things happen, translating some defense to some offense. McClellan with the strip delivers to the star. The star shining bright. Tristan Jarrett, ladies and gentlemen.
Back here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, here at Southern University, Jackson State 5-0 in league play. And you see the difference between their SWAC opponents on the left and the non-conference. Now, non-conference, a lot of high majors. They had 9 games postponed or canceled this year, so they had tons of COVID issues. And, JC, the numbers speak for themselves, non-conference and conference.
Yeah, and in the non-conference, I mean, you're playing Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Iowa State, teams that have more money thrown into their programs, a little bit more of an advantage. But you learn how to compete with those top-tier teams in the game, and you take from those games, start to gain your identity, and really apply that in conference. And you see how favorable the numbers have been. The Tigers have been dominant in the conference play. 5-0 start and brimming with a supreme confidence at this point.
Confidence reflected in Coach Brent's attire, by the way. The bow tie jacket combo he has going around right now. Love
Too
it.
cool.
Feeling
DC, sheep count that man when he sleeps. I mean, Coach Wayne Brent bringing it.
Foul shot good for Tristan Jarrett. Front runner for Conference Player of the Year. He's getting 24 a game. And Williams, little baseline mid-range, no good. Jonas James, head up. Head up is a theme here. Head up and advance pass. You see a lot of that early in this game.
Better be communicating defensively, getting back in transition, because you know that thrust initially, they're exploring on both sides early offense.
And it looked like James stepped out of bounds. Again, the fourth turnover now for Jackson State. You saw that in the graphic difference, turnovers conference to non-conference. They had an issue with that in non-conference play, turning it over on about 23% of their possessions. That number's gone down significantly in league play, but they have played some weaker teams within the SWAC conference. This is kind of a step up in class a little here, Southern. Travel.
Same exact scenario on the other side. Both sides, Tigers and the Southern team, speeding things up, and it goes a long way for a Southern team to have a performer like Shivers, a guy who's older, who understands the game, who provides another scoring punch, another guy to lean on for a balanced Southern squad. Severely missing a talent like Shivers.
Yeah, Shivers averaging 12 a game. That's top 10 in league play, but he got hurt on the final play. The final play of that Grambling State game, in which they fell 72-69, they just had lost possession on the other end with the game going off. You see the buzzer had sounded, and he goes down in pain in his knee, and you never want to see that for anybody, especially as the clock was expiring in a losing effort at home. That is tough for the redshirt senior transfer from Siena.
You hate to see it. And Dallin, I mentioned not only the talent, but the experience. A redshirt senior, I mean, that is a treasure trove for a coach. I mean, you can lean on guys like that who've logged so many minutes, that understand time, possession, tempo, pacing. Severely missed.
Seeley gets the rebound, but his shot is swatted out of there by Darius Hicks. Isaiah Williams defending and roughing up Harrison Henderson a little bit, and Henderson, a grad transfer from USC and Milwaukee, will pick up the foul.
Yeah, Henderson really challenging Williams on that play. Felt like he had an advantage size-wise to try and attack him. And 6'11" for Henderson to try to finish over the top. Capable scorer from 15 and in.
Henderson, basketball pedigree. His dad played for Duke, was in 3 Final Fours from 1987 to 1990. Unfortunately passed all too soon. Phil Henderson back in 2013. His son carrying forth that basketball pedigree here at Southern. Kicked out to Williams, misses badly.
But that's what the Southern team wants to do. Drive and kick. Sadler, the tone setter, try and carve up the defense, get into the painted area, collapse it, kick out. Unfortunately, poor looking shot offering, but within the DNA of what they like to do, and run as well here as they're going to try.
Seeley 1-on-2, ain't stopping him. Up off the window, no good. And coming up Super Tuesday, Arkansas taking on Kentucky. Kentucky's lost 6-7. Arkansas winners of 3 straight. Big time on Super Tuesday. That's 7 Eastern. And then Big 12 battle, number 14 WVU taking on Texas Tech, 2 of the best in the business. Tough defensive-minded team, but WVU, JC, they can score it now. That's Super Tuesday coming your way, 9 Eastern on ESPN.
All that talk about the Big 10 being fun to watch. Let's not forget about the Big 12. They've been bringing it every night as well.
And they're top-heavy, too, man. Texas Tech, Texas has got their own issues a little bit right now, getting back to full health and everything. Baylor, WVU, those are 4 really good teams, all in the top 15.
Fun to watch.
Well, Williams knocks it down. Take a look at those teams in the Big 12. And I forgot Oklahoma, one of the hottest teams in the country, although they got knocked off this past weekend.
Notice you didn't mention Kansas. Out of the top 25 for the first time in a long time.
Yes, they are out of the top 25, and they are the opposite of hot. Let's go with cold. Quite.
I love the effort and energy from Southern. They've had a chance to set that full court pressure, and I like how guys are flying around, but communicating as well, and really doing a good job of keeping, for the most part, except for recently here in the last few sequences, Tristan Jarrett from taking over this game. Whereas if I'm the Tigers, I need to let number 4 make the decisions and start to create some separation, and here we go.
Jarrett, bad entry pass, tried to force it into Hicks, who was pretty much double covered at the time. Another turnover for Jackson State, their 5th. And this is a Jackson State team that's experienced, 23rd in the nation in experience. A lot of veteran guys, transfer guys have logged a lot of minutes. But you're right, them getting in their pressures definitely had an effect. It's the opposite of what we saw at Grambling State game, where they couldn't get in the press and Southern was on their heels. They're on their front foot, although they're tied now. They're playing the way they want.
It's a big-time shot from Sadler. Sadler setting the tone for this team. He's been the best guard on the floor early on.
Gainer McClellan looks inside to Hicks, trying to back down. Is there Rollins? And he does.
Decent spacing there. Hicks catching out on a block. I thought Ken Evans was starting to cut and create a logjam there, but Evans releases. And nice pivot, turn, and power up there from Hicks. Better spacing in that possession. There's been some frenzied, cluttered offensive possessions that have led to turnovers for the Tigers going the other way. But their patience, decent spacing, allowing for the finish from Hicks.
Hicks on the season, the SWAC play was 8 for 9 from the free throw line until that miss. Now down to 8 for 10. Rollins on the drive, doesn't finish. Tigers the other way. Hey! Incoming McInnes!
Yes, sir. McInnes blocks the shot on one end, shows you his defensive ability, shows you the motor by then full steam ahead rim run, not giving up on a play, nobody locating the best rebounder in the conference, one of the best in the country, and gets a putback punctuation.
Oh, bad foul there by McClellan. Just took out the legs of Henderson.
Just love how McInnes works. And great offensive rebounders understand the opportunity. He knows everybody's playing the ball. Nobody's locating a rebounder or a man. And it just parts like the Red Sea. McInnes, whoo, emotion and also some aggression at the rim.
You know the best part of that play? The refs didn't call a T. Because he was up there for a while in modern-day standards. And he was yelling a little bit. Let's let the guys have a little energy. Feel the game a little bit, feel themselves a little bit.
As we talk about stars and technicals on punctuations at the rim, Greg Brown gives you a hat tip, Dallin. I mean, that was a guy who just got teed up for a heck of a dunk for the Texas Longhorns this past week. I do like the officials letting the guys play. It's emotion. There's a vibe to the game of basketball. The guys express themselves out there on the floor. I'm with you.
Did you intentionally not mention the Baylor player? I won't say it either. That got posterized by Greg Brown? Or
yeah, too much for me.
Okay, we'll just let it go. Evans, pull up, no good. Southern on the run out. Head up for Brendan Brooks. Drops it off. Tip back in by Henderson off the miss from Rollins.
What you're seeing is some offensive rebounding opportunities that are allowed or presented because of aggressive drives. Everybody playing downhill to make it help side commit, and it's leading to these really easy offensive putback opportunities.
Yeah, Coach Brent told us we got to keep the ball out of the lane. Right now the Tigers are not doing that. Jaguars are getting whatever they want on the court.
Whatever they want. Speaking of whatever they want, McInnes wanted that offensive rebound. Feasting. Life above the rim. You don't know about that now.
Back here at Southern, 13-11 up over the Tigers. A chance to tell you about Saturday. Of course, always chock full of hoops from noon to midnight, basically. And we start things off with a great one at noon. Indiana coming off a big win over Iowa, taking on number 4 Ohio State. They've won 4 straight. The Buckeyes have there in action as we speak. Down 2 against Maryland first half. This game, though, against Indiana, Saturday, noon Eastern on ESPN. How about Ohio State up to number 4 in the nation right now, JC? What do you think about the Buckeyes?
It's one of the best teams in the country. So balanced, great offensively, equally as good defensively, well coached, disciplined, a great backcourt. Zay Key put on a performance defensively, though, against Luka Garza last week, leading to the win there. Not an upset by any means. Trying to tell the country about these Buckeyes early on.
Zed Key and Michi Johnson, two freshmen that had big impact in that game at Iowa. Another turnover here. This time it's Southern. And let's go the other way. Maybe.
Now you have an 8th turnover for the Tigers. This is where Southern's got to take advantage and start to make them pay for the carelessness with the basketball. Clearly, the Tigers are overwhelmed by this pressure. And like you alluded to earlier, Dallin, they start 5 upperclassmen. I mean, you just got to be better suited for what's coming because you know it's coming. And you're better suited because of the minutes you've logged over your career to handle it and make the proper decision, but they have not.
Henderson, little fade away, rims out. McKinnis, one-handed rebound.
Meanwhile, for the carelessness with the Tigers with the ball, the failure for the Jaguars to take advantage of it, this is a Jackson State team that's doing their damage in the paint.
Extra pass, James. Court awareness. My man, that's the second time he's done that.
From the baseline, too. I mean, you've got an advantage. You spaced them out. Beautiful extra pass. James is a capable three-point shooter. Take the first one. I love you hunting good to great by trying to drive it. But like you said, there's an awareness there. And these turnovers, problematic. And Southern has to feel like we should be up 10, but they haven't taken advantage of these Jackson State mistakes.
Yeah, only 5 points off 9 turnovers that Jackson State has had. You mentioned James. He's a solid three-point shooter in league plays. 4 of 8. He doesn't take many, but he takes good ones when he's wide open. He's wide open right there, but he wanted to drive into a little bit of traffic. Darian Wilson checks out. Sean Woods passed it in. Yes, that is the coach's son, 11 in gold. With the, as they said, this is their notes say this, Jordan, the Columbia blue trim on the uniforms. Make sure we're clear
yes.
there. McKinnis on the block, fade no good.
That's not really McKinnis' game, though. I like him with momentum at the rim.
Brooks able to get to the 10 again, this time in transition again. Now he gets fouled. He'll go to the line.
I mean, 5'9", low center of gravity. I get it, but yet still, you can't let him just run circles around you, dribble, and get to the rim. You got to get back in transition to the painted area first. You got to communicate to guys, but most especially a handler like that cannot have that kind of momentum coming across the timeline and just circle around guys with Ole defense. Poor effort from Jackson State defensively there, which has put Southern at the free throw line.
And just to take a look at the turnovers we talked about, Jackson State forces a bunch of turnovers. Their turnover rate's 23.2%. I mean, 23.2% of the possessions their opponents ended turnovers. That's third in the SWAC. That number would be top 40 in the nation. And then Southern, though, their offensive turnover rate has been a problem, 23% almost. 7th in the SWAC, but the script has been flipped here. Jackson State's the one struggling right now, and Southern's just can't take advantage of it, as we've said over and over again.
Now you got numbers.
Sean Woods. Now he is a young player, and that's a young player mistake right there. Left his feet to make a pass, and Jonas James is there to take the charge.
That's a senior playing like a senior. Jonas James getting back defensively, understanding Southern is bringing it right to the 10. Just lay out off your body up to the basketball, guys. Let the refs do the rest. That's going to present itself a ton if this Jackson State team's going to get back defensively.
Jarrett back in the game. He sat for a few minutes, makes his presence felt immediately, gets the 10, gets baseline and finishes. Looking to post up for Williams.
Good
takes on a nice interior pass. Staying off Henderson, going the other way.
I like Brooks trying to make something happen as a cutter. It felt like a stagnant possession, a lot of standing around. Brooks tried to make something happen. You just got to be more aggressive, stepping up to the basketball if you're Harrison Henderson, not allowing the defense to come in. Ultimately, Ken Evans getting a hand on that ball.
Good call by the officials, too, as it went off his foot. And another travel. Slow down, Hicks. Slow down. Everything's be quick, but don't hurry. Coach Wooden.
Yeah, and that's been the case here. Darius Hicks, again, in a great position. isolation, playing on one side of the floor, man versus man there. He's had success a couple sequences before, but trying to do too much too fast. And I haven't seen this many travel calls in 12 minutes of play in a long time. It's a rivalry game. There's a lot of energy in this one. Both sides want to come out victorious, but ultimately it's been an undoing rather than an advancement because guys playing too fast.
Williams, nice job getting the body of Hicks and finishing. And now we're saying that obviously Southern hasn't maybe taken advantage as much as they would like and hasn't been the cleanest game. Both these teams have had massive COVID issues throughout the year, themselves and the opponents, missing practices. 9 games missed for the Tigers, 6 games missed for the Southern Jaguars. So they're trying to figure this thing out on the fly a little bit too. All right, we're heading to a break here. Southern up 4 in this rivalry in the SWAC. We're back in a minute. Jackson State made some big-time noise in the offseason, or football season, I should say, back in September, announcing Deion Sanders, prime time, is coming to be the head coach of the Tigers. Proud moment for him, no doubt, but also an emotional moment as he was going to lead this program forward. And he's already done a great job. #1 ranked recruiting class in the SWAC conference right now, headlined by his son, Shadur Sanders, out of Trinity Christian in Texas. How about that, JC?
Yeah, I mean, come on, who's not a Deion primetime fan? And football team just had a scrimmage this past weekend, and a lot of talk about young Sanders at the quarterback position and chemistry he had with a couple of those junior wideouts, Dalen Baldwin and Cortland Hubbard. They're listening. Spotlight's coming when you bring in a legend like Deion Sanders. So all eyes on Jackson State and HBCUs, as it always should be. In our equal opinion, I know, Dallin.
I'll tell you what all eyes are on, too, right now, beyond just Jackson State. Subway. Because Deion, my man, is doing a Subway commercial like every other minute. He's out there and like he's just letting people know he's out in the world. He's got to get a Jackson State on shirt in one of those things, I would think.
Yeah, that's real. That is very real. And I'll tell you what, I bet Subway's selling more. I bet those profits are skyrocketing because everything Deion Sanders touches turns to gold. That's why I'm going to be watching Tigers football this year, seeing the kind of impact he has there. And don't worry, Southern. I know it's going to be one heck of a game, the rivalry. I'm not taking sides. We're only talking about a legend of Deion Sanders right now.
Thank you for that caveat. Don't at me.
Yeah.
Good take by James down the lane. 17 all here, alongside Jordan Cornett. I'm Dallin Cuff. We're in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Southern and Jackson State, one of the many but great rivalries in this conference, in this great conference. Sealy with the step back. He's still struggling to get going. He had 27 in the last game against Grambling State and a loss here at home.
Oh, you got to let him play on the low block. I don't know about that whistle, down. In the trenches, there's going to be some physicality. No advantage gained. No advantage lost, very far away from the ball. I understand trying to clean it up because it is a physical game, but don't love a whistle that far away from the basketball. Can't imagine Coach Woods does either.
Well, you don't need to imagine. His face summed up exactly what you were saying. You go, what? You kidding me? How was that look? He's still making it. He's perplexed.
A little bit of posturing here in the first half, trying to earn some whistles in the future. It feels like it's going to be one of those back-and-forth games. Got to find that edge wherever you can get it.
Well, Hicks goes to the line in the bonus there. He was 0 for 1 earlier, knocked down this free throw.
Got to take 2, fellas.
See McKinnis is at the bottom part of your screen in a blue jersey. You can see his head. He is the leading rebounder in the conference, second in the nation. He didn't even step in. He had trust in his teammate was going to knock it down. Williams drives again. Foul going to the 10.
Again, Williams, and it's been much the same downhill attack. McKinnis is a shot blocker. I understand him wanting to get in there and make a highlight play, but step up in that paint when you see your perimeter teammate get beat and offer up a charge or at least a chest of resistance. That was going to be defensively. The concern is it's a Southern team that's going to want to drive and kick. Drive and kick. Well, it hasn't been as much kicking as it has driving, and at times get to the free throw line.
That's big because that's McInnes' second foul now with 7 minutes to go. He's going to head to the Pine. Darian Wilson checks in, the grad student that came here from Copia Lincoln Community College. Joined the Jackson State program.
And because this pressure's been applied, it's taken the Tigers' ability to involve a guy like Tristan Jarrett, who's such a difference maker, because they're so frenzied and playing at such a pace, they can't take the time to get it to him. In that sequence, they did, but it hasn't been, Dallin, nearly enough of Tristan Jarrett deciding this first half and ultimately being able to build a lead for a Tigers team. And that is credit to Coach Woods and his Southern defense.
And I would add on, the Jackson State's got to get the ball in his hands more often. You can't allow Southern to take him out. And you just see that move he has made right there. Great hop step in the lane, good body control and strength to get that up on the rim, almost rolled in. He's a natural-born scorer they got to get him the rock as much as possible.
Yeah. And they haven't been able to because of this full court pressure. Guys feel like, well, they have an opportunity, they better take it because the pressure is busting pipes. And that is where Southern has had his impact.
Jarrett saves it. James. Wilson thinks about a three. Post up with Brooks on him, giving up some inches. Fade away, looking like Dirk. Result not Dirk-like.
It's elite defense. Throwing a double at Jarrett, making him take a low percentage opportunity, making it difficult for one of the best scorers in the nation.
The little Johnson foul, count it!
I don't know how Johnston made that shot. Looked like Patrick Mahomes taking hits in a pocket in the Super Bowl last night with the Bucks, but still able to get that one to go. And that was a Jarrett, I don't want to say frustration because clearly helped him up, good sportsmanship. A sense of urgency, but a lack of discipline defending the jump shooter.
Jarrett's first fouls. He stepped in underneath. You got to let the jump shooter land. He did not do that. Jarrett drives, kicks it out, extra pass around the perimeter. Evans.
Look how quick that defense recovers. The extra pass, and boom, a defender's jump into it. The reaction time, the effort, the connectivity of this Southern defense has been something to really watch.
Another turnover, and they're going to call a ticky-tack foul. Sealy was away on a 2-on-1 there. He probably wants that one back.
That is clinical. If you're going to show tape after a game and say this is the kind of defensive pressure we need to see from our Southern team, lay this one out. And I wish y'all could give me more of this replay because they were working at every turn defensively there. A drive, meet a chest, a reverse, a guy's there. Rotations have been omnipresent. No advantages have been given from the Southern defense. Love the effort.
And Sealy steps to the line. They are now in the double bonus. The junior from Durban, South Africa.
Oh, look at Todd Jones doing work, our producer here. I mean, look, cutter, meets the chest, blocks the shot. Guys don't give up on a play. Ball gets moved, ultimately the turnover. And I'm telling you, that's what Southern has brought defensively this entire game.
Great response because, again, Grambling State, that last game they lost at home, they didn't look like that. And especially in the first half. They were a step slow, a little sluggish. They're playing with great energy. And you mentioned great connectivity right now as well. Long pass, risky pass, another almost turnover.
Jackson State's overwhelmed by the pressure. And they don't have a clear solution, which is surprising because they have a bunch of capable handlers on the floor. It's just been guys shrinking the floor with length and athleticism from the Southern defense, getting in passing lanes, running and jumping.
Andre Allen, the senior transfer from Arizona State, picks up the foul out there trying to hedge on the ball screen, trying to hard hedge. Never want to see that when you are guarding well to pick up a foul 30 feet from the hoop and put Jackson State on the line. Best free throw shooting team in the SWAC at just under 75%. My job's done. side, going to send Hicks to the line for 2.
And I mean, they're really setting the tone, the officiating crew, of what they're going to allow down low. And an arm bar coming from Henderson, post defense-wise there, enough to generate a violation and an opportunity at the free throw line. And you got to adjust to how the officials are going to call the game. If you understand it's going to be a quick whistle, you've got to play within the confines of the game. And as a former post defender, I always paid attention to down how they were calling, how I could defend down low. And once you see that, you got to adjust. The Tigers are going to make a living off the free throw line here before the end of the half.
And that's the thing we always say about refs when you played. It's like you just want them to be consistent. You may not like the calls, but you have to adjust to how they're calling the game. And we'll see if the guys can do that. Weirdly enough, talk about the Super Bowl last night, it's like the Chiefs secondary didn't adjust. They just kept grabbing and holding, and next thing you know, that game was a wrap.
Yeah, but if you have everybody tell it was caping for Tom Brady to get him another Super Bowl, that's what the public's saying. You know, there's always complaints. Officials can't win. It's a thankless gig.
I just said this to my brother the other day. I have so much respect for him, but who wants to be a ref? You cannot win. There's no positive. Brutal job, man.
I always think on the flip side, it's a cool gig because you're involved in these games. Guys like Teddy Valentine become a name because of their passion. Maybe sometimes how they call the game. But never met an official that I liked on the court. I've liked them all off the court. And so maybe that's the player in me. And I know you can relate now.
I feel you on that. Even ones that I thought I liked on the court, there was always the run-ins. And then the off the court. They're great dudes, man. And they're great at their jobs, too. It's really, really hard job. I could not do it. But there's many jobs I couldn't do for multitudes of reasons. Trying to play inside and looking for Hicks. Settling for a deep jumper is McClellan. No Jarrett on the court again. No McInnes. Looking for offense. McClellan will be it. Hits the fadeaway. Brooks tries a little hook pass inside off the foot of Henderson. Out of the scrum, the Tigers have the ball. James in the Sealy's chest, no good.
I got tired watching that sequence up and down. You better be well conditioned in this one. It's a track meet. Get that thing and go. Make that thing and go. Two teams that are trying to play fast, used to scoring at a high clip. Very low scoring for both teams outside of their comfort zone at this point with 3 minutes left in the first now.
Well, and again, this time the lefty gets it to go with the right hand, giving them some instant offense now. Again, Tristan Jarrett, leading scorer in the conference, 24 game, is on the bench. Javius McInnes, leading rebounder, had a good start to this game. He's got 6 points already. He's on the pound. Double comes hard at Henderson. Tough shot. You like that shot? Double came, just step out and shoot it? One-point lead. Tigers have bounced back over Southern. Coach Brent liking his boys' work the last few minutes. We'll be back. Jackson State fans happy. Their crew's up 1 right now over Southern. Saturday night, everybody's going to be happy. We've got a great lineup for you. North Carolina taking on number 9 Virginia. That's 6 Eastern on ESPN. UVA, one of the hottest teams in the country. KD, Kyrie, James Harden, the Nets. Who cares? There's no defense because it's Steph and the Warriors on the other side. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ABC. And then ESPN Plus pay-per-view, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. UFC 258 main card highlighted by Usman Burns, the UFC welterweight championship. What a lineup on Saturday.
You had me at Steph.
I thought I had you speechless there for a second.
No, you had me at Steph. And for those who don't know, Google Dallin Cuff, follow him on social media. They are brothers from maybe a different mother, Dallin Cuff and Steph Curry. I'm still trying to figure out how that works.
Let's just be real. As the years have gone on, It's just whatever light-skinned mixed guy with light eyes becomes me. It's just how it works.
Yeah.
It's the move.
Yeah,
Sometimes somebody told me I look like Blake Griffin. I got Blake Griffin for a period in the early 2000s, 2010s. That one is insane. Just that, I mean, he's a 6'9" Skywalker. This is not. We're not the same.
My advice to everybody out there: don't look him in the eyes. Old blue eyes. Dallin Cuff, ladies and gentlemen.
That's my hype man, Jordan Cornette. I'm Dallin Cuff. Jordan is the all-time leading shot blocker at Notre Dame. We'll hype him as well. Steele again, another turnover and a throwdown. Ain't missing that one. Evans, local product, Jackson, Mississippi redshirt freshman, throws it down.
You've seen this thing flip on its head. Momentum on the Tigers' side, and they've led with some of their defense, generating stops, but also getting in passing lanes with some pressure of their own, and that's within their DNA. They want to try and turn you over, get some easy ones out in the open floor, able to do just that on the back of Ken Evans.
You mentioned it, Jackson State is first in the league in turnover rate. 23% of the possessions their opponents have been turned over in league play. Southern's now up to 11 turnovers, as do Jackson State have 11 turnovers right now. Sloppy game, but Jackson State has benefited more in their points off turnovers and points in the paint, 16-6.
And again, another strong defensive possession. A lot of contact there. They're going to travel.
Darian Wilson with the travel there. Tough call there.
Rebound
Patrick
in
Evans, the
traffic,
official
too.
underneath.
Yeah, I like the effort defensively. I like the rebound in traffic from Wilson. Wilson was the one guarding there, too. Contests. Then you love to see the guy who contests, who goes up there and then gets it. Man, I thought there was more contact. That should have been a foul, not a travel.
Henderson thinking about it, going to take it. Short.
6'11". Like to see a guy like Henderson have his impact, finishing over a defense in the painted area. He's fallen in love with the three. Some capable of making it, no question, shooting 33 beyond the arc, but you really feel like if you're Southern, you want to do your best to recapture a lead here before the break because you've been in control of this game for the majority, albeit a narrow margin, but it's demoralizing of sorts if Jackson State's able to build here before the break.
Oh, great rebound off the miss by Demarion Barif Smith. Smith, great rebound, good finish. Puts the Tigers up 5. Loaded up way, no good by Rollins.
Love the defense from Jackson State. As much as we were singing the praises of Southern being a connected defensive group, both these teams gifted scoring, but also good defending, and it's the Tigers who've come to the forefront defending here, Dallin.
Coach Brent's got to be happy right now, trying to close this out with one more bucket, extend this lead as we go into break here in a minute. Back here at Southern, home team trails 23-28. They were in control of this game most of the first 15 minutes. The last 4, it's been very different as they've struggled to score. Jackson State, 5-0 in league play, has taken advantage of that. If you're Sean Woods right now, what are you saying to your guys, JC? Because things have really flipped here relatively quickly.
Well, for one, get back defensively, be better with the basketball, and play off of 2. When you're a driving team, compose yourself and then take these shots. A lot of them have been out of control. They've settled. It's been poor shot selection. But defensively, it's just been at their throat. What they were doing defensively and offensively has now been flipped, and the Tigers are the ones who are giving the more complete performance. So defensively, it starts keeping guys in front, but also offensively playing off 2 and better shot selection.
James trying to drive and finish, and he does. Caps an 11-0 run for the Tigers. They're going to take a 7-point lead into the break on the road here at Southern, who's been scoreless for the last 5 minutes.
Just huge for momentum. An older bunch in these Tigers, start 3 seniors, 2 juniors, understand what it's like to battle some attrition early, but then respond with the fight of their own to take firm control of this game. Been a little bit better with the basketball, and I love the defensive effort from the Tigers to take control, DC.
23rd in the nation in experience. It showed. They weren't good the first 15. They were outstanding the last 5. 7-point lead. We're heading to halftime after the break. Kelsey, Coach, and Fonz have you. Back here at the F.G. Clark Activity Center, Southern University, they are down right now, 30-23 to Jackson State. The Tigers in the midst of an 11-0 run as we went to break. What's the difference here, JC?
Well, Dallin, usually you talk about the head of the state, Tristan Jarrett, doing what he does, and he did just that in a few sequences, and it looked like it was going to be his night. But then Southern, credit their defense, started to take him away, and you saw what's typically a star lead in the way that averages 24 to a balanced effort, getting 11 points off their bench and being more difficult by spreading it around. And, of course, that defense, you know how they love to generate turnovers, these Tigers. That started to come to the forefront, capitalizing off turnovers, easy offense, and that's how they were able to build this lead. Also, 22 points in the paint for the Tigers compared to 6 for the Jaguars.
13 points off of turnovers, and the Jaguars, Sean Woods told us, their coach, we got to make shots. Sometimes simple analysis to get into your pressure. They're shooting 23%. They are 11-13 from the free throw line, but they didn't make shots late, didn't get to the line a lot late to set up that pressure, and the Tigers have turned the tables. Javius McKinnon's been quiet. McKinnon has been quiet. See if that changes in the second half. Back here at Southern, F.G. Clark Activity Center. Home team suffering through an 11-0 run to close out the half alongside Jordan Cornett. I'm Dallin Cuff. In one of these great SWAC rivalry games, Jackson State 5-0 in conference play, trying to keep track, if you will. Hold serve to Prairie View, who's now 6-0. Southern's lost 3 of 4, trying to bounce back here and right the ship. Had their first home loss in over a year to Grambling State in their last outing. They trail by 7 right now at the break. Jalen Sadler throws up a shot. He had 2 fouls early in this game, number 5 in gold. Important to have him back out there on the floor for the Jaguars.
What I'm starting to notice, Dallin, in a lot of these dribble drives is it's as a group the defenses are trying to block the shot. That presents offensive rebounding opportunities if the team is willing to attack. And Tristan Jarrett, got to see more of Tristan Jarrett deciding this game. Can really open it up for the Tigers if he's aggressive and makes his presence known, the supreme talent that he is.
He makes his presence known when he goes to the basket. I think he yells "and one" every time he goes to the 10. And flexes on him. But when you're that good, you can do whatever you want.
And McKinnis has mastered the Carmelo Anthony rebound. Maybe he doesn't use the expletives, but he makes himself known and announces himself when he garners another rebound to the tally.
Physical drive by Isaiah Williams. Transfer from IUPUI, grad student now here at Jackson State.
It's been a welcome addition to this team since he's been back in the 4 games he has. He brings a rugged toughness. He's a versatile guy that can guard 1 through 5 on the floor. I also like how he's catching that thing into high post and trying to attack with that physical frame and his size. It makes it challenging on the defense. But he has been mightily productive for a Tigers team looking for more weapons since he's become eligible.
Terrell Williams has his 3rd foul, so he's still in the game with the ball right now. Just be aware of that early in the second half. Sadler with the ball, second in the SWAC with assists in league play, just over 6 a game. They only have 2 assists as a team right now in this game. They usually assist on almost 63% of their possessions, Jordan, in league play. Not sharing the ball.
Henderson as a screener has got to be a dive guy, Dallin. And you watch on those ball screens, they're blitzing a handler. He's 6'11". Make yourself a receiver. You could really start to do some damage in the second half. Read and react, and I don't think Henderson's aware that they are reacting to the handler, not him as a dive guy.
Great point. Open stops the ball and all the way to the 10. There's the Lord Johnson. Playing side to McInnes, heads up. Help came late from Henderson. McInnes will earn himself a chance to go to the free throw line.
McInnes did a strong job demanding the basketball there on the low block. Knew what to do with it. Realized the advantage he had down low. Let's just think of the game. Those type of plays are winning plays. The Lord Johnson goes 6'3". McInnes at 6'7". Saw the advantage, saw the mismatch, exploited it, and earning it from the free throw line.
And Johnson also got caught on the high side. I mean, basic basketball, ball you man. You want to stay between your man and the hoop. He got caught on the other side, an easy entry pass over the top for Jonas James. Throw to McInnes.
But you don't see that a lot, Dallin, from some of these guards. Understanding that the big is an integral piece, and sometimes there's an obvious mismatch. Sometimes they're too worried about working it around the perimeter or breaking their guy off the dribble. I love the connectivity from guard to big man to complete the play and earn the points. You know it doesn't always happen.
I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. I never had that issue. All I wanted to do was get the big guys the ball. So that's all I thought. I didn't want to chuck threes or get out there and show them how to bop. I wanted just to get you guys the ball. That was my concern.
Feed the big fellas. Let them do some work. Keep them interested in the game.
Well, yeah. Rewarding the big guys for running is definitely something I was always aware of. And I will tell you this. I'm much more in tune with a mismatch when I'm sitting on the sideline than I was playing, because at times I was like, well, he's got a mismatch, maybe I do too. Oh, I got a big on me? Let me see what's up.
Yeah, but that's kind of funny, because talking with Coach Wayne Brandt, the first thing he said about McInnes is he's not a guy that demands the basketball. He's perfectly content with going to get his with those rim runs or second chance opportunities or getting in a passing lane. Those guys are fun to play with, guys that don't have an ego and want to be ball dominant. As McInnes does work, pushed off of the block right there. Maybe he should demand the basketball a little more.
It's not really his game, but he played through him, and it obviously worked here.
I mean, he's a few feet off the block, fading away, one arm, shooting over a 6'11" defender in Harrison Henderson. That's a low percentage opportunity, but sometimes when you're talented, you're talented.
Henderson now has 3 fouls, so Sean Woods' team is foul trouble starting to mount. He's got 2 players, Henderson and Williams, with 3 apiece. A couple other with 2. And McInnes is a guy you love to play with, because he does, as Coach said, we don't run anything for him. He just manufactures his own offense. He's a dog on both glasses. Again, if you're just joining us, he's second in the nation in rebounds per game. In league play, went up from 12 and change to over 15 rebounds a game. He's been dominant in that world, always working for his teammates.
And he hasn't reached double figures in his last 2 games, and that's below his average quite markedly. So there's a commitment to him to also get that offensive game going, understanding he's underperforming.
Well, Williams dials up a much-needed 3. That is the first triple of the day for the Jaguars. They're 1 for 6 now from deep. McInnes posting up, one in the rock. Isaiah Williams on the other side, and there'll be a foul of Williams. That'll be his 4th. He's going to have to head to the pine with 16 left to go.
And you see the commitment for these Tigers to try and play down low. Understanding Southern doesn't have the resistance that a lot of teams can provide, and they're earning a lot of whistles here. Tigers might find themselves at the free throw line quite early here in the second half at this rate.
Three fouls in already for the Jaguars in just over 4 minutes of play. Jackson State up 5 right now, trying to remain perfect in SWAC play. Tristan Jarrett Leading scorer in the conference, right down Broadway. Missed the layup, though. Extra pass, Sealy got him in the air. Didn't try to get fouled there. And now Jarrett out running. Jarrett runs hard into Jalen Sadler, and that will be a charge.
It's a big-time play from Sadler. Big-time play. Stop the bleeding, give your team a chance.
Up 5. We come back, though. Jaguars ball going the other way. Here at Southern, hosting Jackson State, one of 4 SWAC games going on right now. It's caught up in the conference. Grambling up 8 over Alcorn State in the second half. Grambling 6-3 right now in league play, coming off a win over the Southern team here in Baton Rouge. Arkansas Pine Bluff trailing by Alabama A&M by just 2 points, keeping that one tight. A&M is 3-2 in league play. Pine Bluff 2-7, so had a rough year so far. Speaking of rough year, Mississippi Valley State, they're 0-8 in league play, but they are up right now on Alabama State, who's a couple spots ahead of them in the standings. That would be a big win for that crew if they could get it.
Tell you what, Prairie View A&M is paying attention closely to this one, seeing if Southern can pull off the upset and leaves the Panthers standing atop conference standings. Perfect.
Yes, Prairie View now at 6-0. Jackson State trying to hold serve and move to that mark as well in league play. Jackson State's won 5 straight. Just in case you don't know, they did announce a couple days ago a change to the conference tournament plan for the SWAC conference. Usually it's the top 8 teams playing at a home site first before moving later in the tournament to a final venue, but this is going to be one site. Again, Birmingham will be the location for the entire tournament. Top 8 still make it, and you got to win 3 games to get that automatic bid to go dancing in Indianapolis. Lord Johnson fouled by McClellan.
I mean, transition defense is really critical in a game like this. I mean, both teams, when they get it, they are going. You've seen sequences from both sides where the defense has gotten back and taken charges successfully, but more times than not, it's been draw a whistle. So the challenge is, A, take care of the basketball in this one, rebound it, but get back both teams defensively, because it is coming. This is not a game that's going to be won from three-point line. 1-3 has been hit between both teams. That's not the threat. Protecting the goal in transition is the threat.
Which is ironic. I mean, both teams are 1 of 12. But percentage-wise, both these teams are top in the SWAC, first and second. And Southern's shot almost 42%. But they don't take a ton, but they do make them when they put them up. But it has not been the case today. Haven't had many open looks.
Yeah, Lord, hey.
Take a look at those three-point numbers for Southern, almost 42%. Look at the defense for Jackson State. They're first in the SWAC, holding teams at 28%. So they're kind of doing their thing. They've limited even attempts for the Jaguars. Nice finish by McClellan through some traffic and contact. Jackson State looks like they're in the zone now.
Yeah, showing a little bit of a, it feels like a matchup zone of sorts, or a 2-3, and now moving back into man, almost throwing them different looks within that same possession defensively.
Yeah, it looked a little bit like a matchup as they were passing off cutters there, yeah.
Yeah.
See if they go to in this OB under. Manned up again. And Sadler to the 10, picks up the foul. Big quiet today, huh, no, Jordan? Sadler?
Yeah, and Sadler is that guy, and talking with Coach Woods, it says he kind of sets the tone. He's our guy and his ability to truly drive and kick. And you see on that drive, there's 4 defenders there. He had the angle, so I like Sadler being aggressive in getting there. But he also has that opportunity within this game because he can get into the painted area to collapse that defense and kick. And that should be something worth exploring more. He's best suited to handle the pressure that they're seeing from the Tigers. So you want the ball in Five's hands as much as possible here in these final 13 minutes.
Definitely been more aggressive after the break. Had foul trouble in the first half. It slowed him down. He's up to 8 points. Misses both free throws. He was 6 of 7 in league play before those 2. Big misses when you're down 5 in a low-scoring game.
And on that dig, that's got to be a kick out. That's a miss from McInnes. When that defense digs in, you got James, who's a capable 3-point shooter. You got to feed the open man quickly when you field 2.
Sadler beating up, gets himself into the paint, knocks down a little shot. Junior averaging 10 points, 6 assists in league play. He's been you mentioned the key guy, as you were just saying. Coach Woods said he's their leader on the court and off the court. James pull-up.
Time shot for that from James to pull up. I mean, this is a game. Again, it comes fast the other way. Turnover can't get it going, but this is a game where individual numbers offensively don't matter. Individual defense is the tally that is really going to be the difference in this game. There's not a lot of assists. Dallin, you mentioned that at half. 3 total assists combined between the teams. This is guy catches ball, guy tries to get to the rim. Can you defensively take pride in keeping your man in front? Because you're going to be challenged by both perimeters, and even on a low block in isolation. Can you be an individual who earns a stop? Henderson challenge here.
Isaiah Williams shot no good. Defended well by Allen. Brooks foul going to the 10.
And that's the 2 layers of defense. Allen gets the stop in the low block, defending. But then the other side, now Jackson State, can they get back in transition? That other dynamic to the defensive side in this one, and get stops. Both teams perpetually challenged in the open floor, perpetually challenged defensively, individually. Something to track here in the last 12 minutes.
Foul trouble mounting as well. Another thing to track as Williams goes out with 3. McClellan went out with 3 the possession before. McClellan's still in the game. He's guarding Seeley there. Shot rims out.
That's a missed whistle. That was a foul on a jump shot. Darius Hicks was all in him.
Lord Johnson still limping back. It's 4 on 5.
Yeah, that's a big missed whistle. Didn't allow DeLord Johnson to come down and land on a jumper.
Johnson trying to walk it off right now.
I mean, Hicks caught him with the arm, came in underneath him. And out of an official, Coach Woods livid, rightfully so. I mean, DeLord Johnson's coming up limping because of contact and no whistle on his jump shot.
That's a tough one right there. Again, this is a Southern team, like most teams in the country, have had a lot of COVID issues. They've had injury issues. Coach Woods is mixing and matching lineups. It's almost a different lineup almost every night, trying to get guys available to play. Never want to see you get a guy limp off the court when there was no foul call in particular. You want to see it, period. But on a missed call, those ones hurt. Shot long from Brooks. McInnes wants it in the post. He's way off there. There's a little congestion down low.
Big to big screen here. It's a tough angle. It's a tough shot from McInnes. He caught high post. I would love to see him rip through and attack the rim, but he's had some luck there. And again, transition defense. Before you can even finish a sentence, Rollins on the other side knocks down a jumper. Can't celebrate too much on makes in this one, DC. It's coming right back at your jaw.
Yeah, boy, you better get back, man. That thing is a make or miss. That ball's getting up the court.
Cameras can hardly follow. How can you? This game is playing at a ridiculous pace.
Sadler head up, pushing it again. Kicks out 3 ball off. Seeley with the tip, gets it to go. 4-point game now. Southern showing some life for sure.
And that started with Allen's activity on the glass to allow Seeley to get on it. But that's an effort play. And it's because a good shot was taken. It started initially with the drive from Sadler to open up a baseline 3 look.
Playing through McInnes again in the post. Allen on him. Shot clock down to 1. Do they get the shot off? They do. McInnes trying to rebound. Good box out by Rollins.
Great block out by Rollins.
Sadler drops it off for the throwdown. 2-point game. Crowd's alive here in Baton Rouge.
Out 3 look.
Playing through McInnes again in the post. Allen on him. Shot clock down to 1. Do they get the shot off? They do. McInnes trying to rebound. Good box out by Rollins.
Great block out by Rollins.
Sadler drops it off for the throwdown. 2-point game. Crowd's alive here in Baton Rouge. Allen throwdown. Jaguars got some life. Don't go anywhere. 2-point game now. Jackson State up 2 here over Southern. Tomorrow we got another great day of hoops. Super Tuesday. SEC Big 12 doubleheader on ESPN and the app. 7 Eastern, Arkansas heads to Lexington to take on Kentucky at Rupp Arena. Cats got to win. They've lost 6 of 7. Then it's the matchup of the night in the Big 12. Number 14, West Virginia squares off against number 7, Texas Tech in Lubbock. Mountaineers have won 4 straight in Big 12 play. Much to do with Derek Culver. That's where we're at on Wendy's Wooden Watch. Jordan, what do you like about Culver?
I like Culver's physicality. I like how he competes on both ends of the floor. I love how he works on the backboard, much like how we featured McInnes in the beginning of this one. Culver is that to the Big 12. Also, he's got a great guard to help him get those 14 points a game in Deuce McBride from the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio, where your boy's from, Dallin.
Glad you cleared that up for us. I don't know, we would have wondered why you would have shouted out Cincinnati. Who would have known?
Yeah, you're not going to get that in the South typically.
A reverse layup there by Jarrett. Good drop off by James. Good response by the Tigers. Their second assisted basket of the night.
32 points in the paint for the Tigers. Wow.
Wow, horrible turnover. And bad missed layup. Stick with it, Seeley. Jonas James trying to call it a set here. Looking for Hicks. Goes right at Isaiah Rollins, and he picks up the foul. 4-point game, Jackson State's up. See if Hicks can make it more after the break. Back here at Southern, 4-point lead for the visiting Jackson State Tigers. Coach Sean Wood's son, only playing in his 4th game of the year because of COVID and then hip injuries. Great hustle here to kick it out to Sealy. But that might be his last action of the day as Sealy misses this 3. He pulled up lane a few seconds after that, and he's had hip issues throughout the year. Never want to see this for the young freshman. You asked Coach Woods what's it like coaching your son, and you could see him kind of light up right away. He said, I've never done it before. Yeah. And he's wanted to do more of it because of COVID and injuries. He hasn't been able to see him on the floor that much. He gave him great minutes against Grambling State. This is never what you want to see, though.
Yeah, and he also hasn't been able to coach not only his son as much as he'd like to, but his team. I mean, when you're going through COVID pauses and the protocol, it's really hard, and you can stop me at any point because I know everybody's heard this, but it's very real. It's hard to grow your team. Dallin, we can think back to when we were playing basketball at a high level in college, and during Christmas breaks, if you had 1 or 2 days off, you felt like you were completely behind when you returned to the floor. That is a life that all these athletes are living. And oh, by the way, in isolation, much like we were during Christmas break, which was also the toughest time when we were playing. And this is amplified because it's throughout a season. So a true hat tip to these players and these coaches doing the best to deliver a worthwhile product on the floor despite all the obstacles.
100%, man. And just the mental and the physical piece. The 14-day quarantine. Like, dude, if you were in season, you didn't touch a ball for you took the 1 day off. If you didn't go get shots,
you felt like you didn't know how to use a ball.
You felt weird the day off after that. It's crazy. To take 14 days, then from a field, conditioning, understanding your teammates, all that stuff, and the mental piece, you're right. We used to have like a long Christmas break, 4.5, 5 weeks almost. And you would just be dying for kids to get back on campus.
Yeah.
Now, this is day in and day out, and you can't hang out. Yeah, this is a whole different element. We still had our team there. It's just tough, man. Going to play inside again. A little block-to-block screen. Bad pass by James. And big shot for Rollins. They call it a 2. Would have been the first lead for Southern since about 5 minutes, 6 minutes ago in the first half, but it is now a tie ball game.
And again, it's that early offense. Quick hitters.
Tristan Jarrett, okay.
7:30 left in this game. And if Dallin Cuff is not saying Tristan Jarrett's name a lot down the stretch, this one may go Southern's way. Tristan Jarrett must demand the basketball. Scoring 24 in conference, held to 13 on 6 of 16 shooting. It's TJ time.
Rollins reverse, no good. Jackson State will slow it up. Jarrett, first one to know it missed. Followed it hard. Foot out, though. Here we go. It's heating up. Tigers are 5-0 in league play. The Jaguars need a win desperately. Climax going to be great. Back here at Southern, in crazy developments, as Jackson State's up 3. We go into the media timeout. And in that timeout, Javius McKinnis, number 11 there, second leading rebounder in the nation, and Tristan Jarrett got into a little argument. Jarrett's on his team, folks, mind you, and Jarrett is the leading scorer in the conference at 24 points a game in league play. As they're going back and forth, why this is relevant is we're being told that Jarrett left the floor. And if you leave the floor, you can't come back into the game.
And you can see McKinnis is fired up. Not a lot of emotion coming from Jarrett in that sequence, but led to Jarrett removing his jersey and walking off. So, two best players coming winning time. We'll call for Tristan Jarrett, and he's not going to return in this one, Dallin.
We'll keep following that, because needless to say, that is a strange development. Now McKinnis is called for the foul. Jarrett exits the game potentially with 11 points, 5 of 16 from the floor. And as you were just saying before, JC, he made the 3 to put them up 49-47. And then we need to be saying his name and talking about Jarrett down the stretch. That may not be the possibility. May not be happening, as yes, we're hearing more word. He's been disqualified. Number 4.
Wow.
Taking off the jersey. So he walks out of the huddle, and you see the referees talking to him. That's Byron Jarrett. He throws the jersey, and now Jarrett is now informing the team because of that as he's leaving the floor without his jersey. He will not be allowed to come back into this game. 24 points a game in league play.
Wow. I'd never seen anything like that. This is a 5-0 in conference team. Your two biggest leaders, most productive guys, get an argument like that. That is hard to reconcile and hard to understand if you're the rest of the team. Can you keep it together for the final 6 minutes?
Well, guys are trying to step up, I'll tell you that much. What a block by Isaiah Williams. Now it gets wedged in between the rim, so that goes to alternate possession, so it'll be Jaguars ball, but what a recovery in the rotation.
I mean, I still can't get over that scenario.
Oh, they called a foul.
With McKinnis and Jarrett. I mean, I talk about sports is the best reality television there is. I didn't know it could get to this level of drama within the sport. So, really curious to hear. And, of course, me and Dallin are not on site there to gain ears on what's truly happened. We'll try to report it as we find out here in these final 6 minutes. But that is a massive blow when your 24-point-per-game scorer has a tiff that leads him no longer being eligible. Incredible.
I mean, think about the real-life entertainment you're going to have. You get to watch this game in The Bachelor next. I mean, the drama in your life unfolding here is unbelievable.
Hey, Matt James might have to wait for another day. I might have had my fill on this one.
Well, free throws made by Allen, 1 of 2. 1-point game now. Back come the Tigers. Almost a turnover. Ball's loose. James pass tipped. Here we go again. Sadler on the rock. Looking for the lead. First time since 23-22, and they don't have it.
Seeley's got some good looks coming off a 27-point performance. That was a good flow in which he took that shot. Just hasn't been able to carry over that shot-making ability into a stretch of a third game here tonight.
Kilo Seeley, 1 of 9 for 5 points, 27-point performance. Here's another look as you see McKinnis is frustrated. He's giving Jarrett an earful. Jarrett remains pretty calm.
And so here's my thing, Dallin, and I'm curious your thought because we both have been in huddles that have been animated. You always got to be careful of being too animated because you're upstaging your teammates. Even if you have a good point, that kind of reaction from McKinnis may be warranted. I'm not in there. But when you start carrying on like that, it's probably going to be reflected upon negatively from your teammates because of how animated and how upstanding it then becomes.
I think you're right. You're, again, 23rd in the nation in experience. A lot of guys haven't always been at Jackson State, but they played a lot of ball. Other guys have to step up and take him away. Like McKinnis has got to be removed from that pushback, and somebody else talk to Jarrett. You got to have guys have each other's backs, essentially, and not allow an infighting situation to potentially break your 5-0 streak here in SWAC play and keep you atop the table. With Prairie View, great drop off by James. Foul, McKinnis goes to the 10. Such a strange situation. And Jarrett just calmly looks back. He's got some words, jersey off, and we're done.
I don't want to dive too much into this, but when you give up on your team in that circumstance with what's on the line, how do you feel like you could be in a foxhole with a guy like that moving forward? Again, we don't know details. We don't know what was said. We don't even know if Coach Brent told him to head to the locker room. Maybe he was instructed to go that route. But if that's not the case, you're giving up on your teammates. It's hard for me to look at you in game situations and say, I can trust this young man. By all accounts, I've heard nothing but great things about Tristan Jarrett. But that's a tough one to reconcile, no question, moving forward. But for right now, you got to focus on continuing this win streak and keeping a Southern team that's fighting at bay.
Well, Jackson State bounced back. Southern took their first lead since the first half. It was 23-22. Jackson State is taking it back now through McKinnis' free throws. Ball loose. Scrum. Jaguars keep the ball. 8 on the shot clock. And Williams is fouled on the back tap. That's a tough one.
It's just unnecessary. Hicks, you see your help side is coming to challenge. You don't need to reach over after your beat Because you're in a bonus. Right, now you're putting Williams at the free throw line when he's going to be challenged to try and finish at the rim. Instead, he's got a couple free throws. Look, your closeout wasn't disciplined. You get beat. But you got the best shot blocker, one of the best in the country, laying there waiting for it.
Reigning defensive player of the year in the conference. You do need to know your squad, man.
That's where you're primed to make the play. Williams even saw the shadow coming and knew what time it was with McInnis waiting.
So with that foul on the baseline, 1-1 now for Williams on the line, playing with 4 fouls. In league play for the 78% free throw shooter. This is the front end, big one, and then McInnis gets the rebound.
They're going to continue that pressure. Send it 3 guys. You got to advance the basketball. Receivers. Now you're playing at advantage.
Off the rim, McInnis. And that's good. Throw down for the big fella. Almost a turnover by the Jaguars in the backcourt.
Almost a goaltend. Curious to see if that was a goaltend or just a nice offensive putback from the best rebounder in the conference and one of the best in the country.
I did hesitate. I thought the bench, Jackson State, almost thought they thought it was a goaltend. Guys were up, looked like they were asking review. Like,
trying to opine for review. Yeah. Thinking it was going the other way. It's a big possession for the Tigers.
Yeah. James Keene, the offense now. Looking to play inside that block-to-block screen.
Double comes, yep. Kick it back out, but you got to swing it then. If you don't have a play, swing it, because help side's going to be late. There's going to be an advantage to be gained.
8 shot clock, McClellan, short 3. Sealy's got it. Just over 3 minutes, Southern trails by 3 at home. Looking to avoid back-to-back losses here at home in F.G. Clark Activity Center. Brooks pull up. Bank! Off the window!
The only way to have it for Brooks. After hours deposit.
See where they go. We're going to play through McInnis again. He's got a touch. McClellan spinning. Fouled. He'll go to the line. The drama continues to unfold. 1 point lead for Jackson State. 2.5 to go. Undefeated SWAC record on the line. 1 point game here in Baton Rouge. Tell you about Saturday, though. We got a full day of college hoops at us, as always. Noon to basically midnight. It starts off Saturday primetime, presented by H&R Block. Noon Eastern. Indiana coming off a big win against Iowa on the road at Ohio State, who's won 7 of 8. They're projected 1 seed right now in the NCAA tournament by Joe Lunardi. Saturday, noon Eastern on ESPN and the app. Folks, if you're just tuning in here and you're fans of the league, Tristan Jarrett is no longer part of this game. The leading scorer in SWAC play got into it with Javius McInnis. These are 2 projected first-team all-SWAC players. McInnis has given him an earful. Nobody steps in. Jarrett eventually will take off his shirt and walk away. When you remove the jersey, you are now been disqualified from the game. And that's what happened here. As Byron Jarrett, the official, sees this, goes and informs the team, and now you got your 24-point-a-game scorer in league play. Will not be there to finish things down the stretch.
Yeah, and I'm also looking at the group as a whole for the Tigers. Coach Wayne Brent, that's not his job to interject. You got to govern yourself as a team. And when the group sees that escalating in the huddle that Coach is not a part of, the sum of all parts have to strengthen and align there and say, hey, guys, we have a game to play. Let's air this out in the locker room, but for now, it's a one-possession game. And nobody did that, allowed it to escalate to a point where Jarrett let emotions get in the way and he leaves the floor, and he's your go-to guy. So as a group, immediately after this game is over, win or loss, you have to figure out how to come together and be on the same page moving forward, because as a guy who's been a member of a team, and Dallin, I know you can co-sign this as one yourself, that is unacceptable on every level, and everyone's to blame to allow something like that to happen.
Amen, man. You said it all. All right, 2 minutes to go here. Shot clock late. Sadler on the ball. Side of the hoop. Is he still able to get a shot off before the shot clock expires? He does not. Good call. Southern turns it over. Good defensive possession by the Tigers. Sean Woods chatting there with Rod Dixon. I think he wants a foul call. None to be had. See their setup, they'll pressure. Both teams in the bonus now with 2 minutes to go. Tigers up 3, 5-0 in league play, looking to hold serve and stay right there with Prairie View, who's 6-0 now.
Tigers team has started over 18 times. Can you be good within a one-possession game in these final 2 minutes? That'll be the key.
Ken Evans looking in. James, floater, no good. He wants a foul, not going to happen. Southern looking to push.
Don't need a three.
Minute and a half to play. There's your defensive player of the year in the conference. Steps up, McInnes.
McInnes, he's put the drama in the past, and he's out here still competing, making a big-time play. Blocking a jump shot there. I love that his defense and his aggression in the approach extends out as a shot blocker, even at jump shooters. I mean, there's not a play that he's not giving max effort on. Nobody's safe. He's challenging everything.
And they retain possession. 2 went off the Jaguars. Now the trap comes. Will the help come?
Got to be receivers.
Still don't need to foul here. Just a 3-point game. Can you get another stop? No Tristan Jarrett, leading scorer, off, disqualified, left the court. Good slip by Hicks. McInnes trying to grab a scrum underneath. And McInnes is going to be called for the foul there. That'll be his 4th as well. And more importantly, giving an easy free throw opportunity now.
Wow.
To Sadler.
The worst scenario possible. The clock, the Tigers' friend. And now you're going to give a Southern team an opportunity to put points on the board with the clock stopped at 56 seconds. You can then, if make the free throws, apply that full court pressure, try to garner a 20th turnover on this Tigers offense and be in position to maybe win this game. We are in for a ride in this final minute.
See Sadler on the night, 0 for 2 on the season, 80% from the free throw line. Big ones. And this is with 1 and 1. Jaguars only have one person into offensive rebound. It looks like Allen.
Ooh. Could be basket interference there. A stretch, but
in real time, I thought it was. I thought his play, your hand cannot contact the rim of the net while the ball is still in the rim of the net.
Still in play, yeah.
Down 2, 52 to go.
Still don't need to foul. Which is a challenge for two teams that have been unable to foul all game long with the pressure they've applied. Wow.
Big play by Sadler for the turnover. 30 seconds. Brooks has got the ball down 2. Sean Woods has got 3 timeouts, elects to not call one. Allen trying to change the angle of the screen. Still Sadler. Seeley doubled. Looking to get rid of it. 10 seconds on the shot clock. He calls the timeout. They'll have 9 seconds on the shot clock here. All right, Jordan, if you're Sean Woods, where are you going here with this out-of-bounds situation? 9 seconds left. What are you thinking?
When we talked to Coach Woods, unequivocally, he said his leader is Jaden Sadler. Sadler is very gifted at carving up a defense, getting into the painted area, then making the proper decision. If it's me, I'm going either horn set up top with 2 screeners, or at least give him 1 ball screen at the top, isolating everybody out on the outside. Drive and kick is a formula to Southern's offensive success. You need a basket. You got to let Sadler decide it with space to make the proper decision via a ball screen.
And Sadler on the day, 11 points, 5 assists. I agree, the ball's got to be in his hands. The question will be how they go about that and how quick he tries to shoot. Again, you do not want to save it for the last shot. You want to give your team a chance to rebound, and if not just rebound, continue to game on and foul and keep extending the game, but not at the expense of taking a rushed shot. But we'll see how quickly they can get one up. Again, just 9 seconds on the shot clock. If you're Jackson State, how do you handle what you may assume is a ball screen situation with Sadler?
You got to be communicating. And I'd honestly still blitz Sadler to get the ball out of his hands. And help side's got to be communicating to be able to recover. I'm not too worried about any three-point shooting here because there's been no real threat of that in this game, even though a three-point shot can beat you. I'm worried about protecting the paint at all costs because both teams have been winning with the dribble, drive, and penetration.
1 of 8 from distance the Jaguars are today. They shoot 42% in league play, but to your point, Jordan, that has not been a concern this game. They've not tried to get many up. They haven't had a lot of really good looks, but they've definitely opted to drive the ball if they had them. So we'll see what the situation is here. Coach Brent's crew breaks their huddle. Sean Woods and Southern does the same. Got Sadler on the court. Terrell Williams playing with 4 fouls. He's got 10 points. Sadler's got 11 to lead the way right now for the Jags. Sadler has it. Here comes the ball screen with Sealy. They switch it. Sadler goes 1v1, kicks it out. 3 ball. Short, still alive. Did not hit the rim, so the shot clock did not reset. Foul. McInnes will go to the line with a 1-and-1 situation now. The 9th foul. The chance to potentially put this away.
And Dowd, I'm going to tell you, I like the no whistle. Rollins angry that he didn't get a call, but you'll notice he kicked out the foot to try and generate contact. It wasn't organic. Let's take another look. Good drive from Sadler, good kick out. Yeah, that was a leg kick from the shooter, to me, which warrants no whistle.
And that's the second time this game he's done that. That is actually a foul on the offensive player if caught by the officials. So really not a smart play in that situation because that was blatant.
Screaming for a whistle to go against what you're hoping for there because that's an offensive type of contact that warrants an offensive foul, absolutely.
And now you see McInnes at the line. In league play, he's shooting 13 for 19 from the free throw line in the season. Today he's 5 for 5, and they're going to try to ice him a bit as he heads to the line.
Heck of an effort again going back. McInnes to grab that rebound in traffic. It's what makes him so special, as he is a shot blocker, as he is a scorer averaging nearly 13 a game. But his ability to grab rebounds in traffic, to grab the timely ones. When you've got a guy that's garnering nearly 13 rebounds a game, moments like this where it becomes so big to your team because he can go get that much-needed rebound. It could be the separator. Now can he finish it off by making these 2 free throws, putting it out of reach?
He hits his season average in league play of 15 rebounds a game with that big one. None bigger than that. Chance to ice it. If he makes the first, we'll discuss strategy there if you think he should miss it or not. But first things first, he's got to make the front end of the 1-and-1 here. Shot is up, rattles home. He now has 14 points.
Got to make this, obviously. No strategy anymore.
3.8 seconds, you make this shot, and we then just stay away from everybody, let him go. But you got to make this shot. And now Sean Woods on the other side. The timeout was Jackson State, so Coach Brent wants to set up his defense and what he wants to do. Assuming he makes it, wants to communicate what that is. If he misses it, also communicate what that will be.
Yeah, 3.8, if there's a miss here, is an eternity. Mm-hmm. You can advance that basketball down the floor and get a look, favorable one from 3, depending on how it happens here. But this game not over on a miss.
It's about a second per dribble usually. You can get 3 good dribbles and a comfortable shot for 3 to tie this game. If you're the Tigers, you got to communicate. If there's any screening action, you got to switch it and you got to contest, but do not foul the shooter.
Now, you see how fast these two teams have been getting up and down the floor for offense? If you can't find a way to get a look here with 3.8 left, I am completely perplexed in a game where we've seen some perplexing sequences, no question. But I feel like if anybody can get a look here, it's got to be Southern with 3.8 left. But again, it's all hinging on the ability for Javius McInnes to make this free throw.
Jordan Cornett there, Dallin Cuff here, and Jordan mentioned perplexing situations. If you're just joining us, Tristan Jarrett, the leading scorer in the SWAC conference, left the court with about 6 minutes to go after arguing with Javius McInnes, two first-team All-League players, and Jarrett walks off the court disqualifying himself when he took his jersey off. So he has been out of this game. They forged ahead and got the lead here, up 3. McInnes is on the line with a chance to essentially ice the game and put them up 4. The second of his 1-and-1 that he's earned. McInnes strokes it. Allen's going to be wide open, puts up the shot. It's no good. Jackson State holds on for a 4-point W over Southern, despite Tristan Jarrett not being there the final 6 minutes. Jordan, your thoughts on what was a pretty wild game?
Very competitive game. It wasn't pretty at times, but both teams bought the fight. Credit to the Southern team that never gave up. And Jackson State, now 6 in a row. I got to give credit to a team that had a lot of attrition that played out before our eyes, were able to remain focused and ultimately get this win. And funny enough, you got to credit Javius McInnes, the guy involved in that altercation with his teammate Tristan Jarrett, that made the big-time plays at the end, the rebound, the free throws, but ultimately surpassing his averages, 14 points, 15 rebounds, getting back into scoring double figures. He ultimately was the difference in this one.
Southern team has now lost 4 of 5, and McInnes was a big reason why. 15 points, 15 rebounds, and 3 blocks. We're joined now by Coach Brent, the coach of the Tigers. Congratulations on the win, Wayne. Before we get to the win, though, I do want to ask you, with Tristan Jarrett leaving the floor, can you provide some insight on what happened between him and McKinnon to cause Jarrett to walk away from the team at that point?
You know what the thing we were doing, we were trying to get the ball inside and move the ball and share, and I thought Jay wanted the ball down low, and we took a bad shot. And the only thing he said to him was, hey, we got time, move the ball around, and then it went from there. And to be honest with you, we needed that to happen for our team. We needed the adversity to happen for our team because our other guys came together after that.
Yeah, Coach, and ironically, it was Javius McInnes who made the game-winning plays with the rebound and the free throws, ultimately scoring 14 points, finishing with 15 rebounds. How do you assess his performance in these 40 minutes that led to a win?
You know what, he's just a warrior. He's a soldier. The thing about him, he's a dog on the floor. He's a good kid off the floor. I told him in the last 9 minutes to make sure that he got every rebound on that defensive end. I thought he was the key. You know, we had some other guys step up and play. I thought Kane McCullum made some big baskets, some big free throws, but like I say, Jay was really, really solid going down the stretch of the game.
He was outstanding, 15 and 15, 3 blocks, and the big free throws. As you go forward here with your crew, I do have to ask you, what do you think is going to be the conversation with Tristan as you guys try to repair what happened as he left the team there in a critical moment? You know what,
we in sports, you have it all the time, so we'll go back in the dressing room and address it, and we'll get ready for the next game. You know, we got a week off, and you know, that's a simple problem to fix, so we'll just go back in. And I think winning kills a lot of things. You got a happy locker room, and our guys love playing with each other, so it won't be a big problem. We'll fix that in the next 5 or 6 minutes.
Winning cures all, Coach. We appreciate it. Congratulations. Moving to 6-0, still top the standings.
All right, appreciate you.
Well, Jordan, they're still 6-0. You might be right.
Hey, you should just be happy I stuck around, Dallin. Lucky you didn't upset me. I would have walked off too, man.
Big fella, if you took your shirt off, it would have been great for me. I would have just loved that scene, my man. Everybody loved the scene of this game. 57-53, unless, of course, you wore the Columbia Blue of Southern as they fall 4 out of 5. Jackson State now 6-0 in league play. For Jordan Cornette, I'm Dallin Cupp. 57-53 is your final. We out.